been said, a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and dale to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road.
The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid.
But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee. A fwit-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Adventures waiting further down the road.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm a little teared up. Those credits were so epic. Thanks to Nina Lee for those. Hi, if anybody's here, so am I. Oh, hi, Zarkin. How are you? I have a new computer, and so I don't know where anything is or how anything works. Hello, darling. Yeah, so I'm just trying to get a hang of things here today. Thanks for joining me. Greetings, programs. See, for example, I did not push that button. It just volunteered you. I'm sure it'll be great. How is everybody? How are things? Life is big and exciting over here as it is out in the world. So I am available. We're going to talk some shop. We're going to have some fun. We're going to read some cards tonight. Happy to answer any questions and so forth. But meanwhile, what's going on here? Well, some of our local news is that, hello, I've got a cat who wants to join me. Hey, buddy, Tavern Cat, what you doing? Big orange cat circling my ankles. You coming up or what? You gonna try? You're just slowing me down otherwise, buddy. Come on up here. Here he comes. You can do it. 1, 2, 3. Nope, he changed his mind. You coming up? You gonna do it? Anyway, so things that are happening around here. Hello. My new credits are amazing. I actually got kind of teared up about it. Hi, Sally. Hi, Nina Lee. Hi again, Zarkin. So news around here. We had some wonderful guests in Awesome Town last night because Glue Master and Handler Z and the Baby Bat stopped by on their way back from one location to another. So we had a fantastic evening of drinking pirate rum and talking about all the things in the world. So that was great. It was like having a little bit of the fair life find me here in my home. So that was great. Oh, here we go. Here's the big boy. You can't quite get him in the frame. Here's the world's smallest, most demure cat. Say hi to the people, Halloween. He was amazing with the Baby Bat, actually, because, of course, while Halloween Beans here he's probably 8 or 9 years old at this point. So, he's kind of he's getting his middle-age spread on, but he was never around when our kids were little. They were already big people when he came into our lives. And so none of the cats had ever seen a toddler before Helly started coming around. And the feral cats are like, what the hell is this erratic thing that lurches towards us, shrieking enthusiastically with her hands full of dice because she carries around all the D20s. But Beans, ginger cats have a bad reputation for not all having the brain cell. But I will say he figured out very quickly that the Baby Bat is just a small humanoid who might be interested in giving him some attention. He flopped right down in front of her in spite of all of her shrieking. And she was very interested in piling acorns on him. So we had a pretty funny little Nat 21 family night. Can you get your face in the screen there, Beans? Little family night in last night with all of that. And they arrived during chicken hour, so they got to see some of that. You got to trust me. There's a cat here. See if you can. He's actually got his head resting. Oh my gosh, Cat, you're hilarious. He's got his head resting on the pad of my new computer. This is probably why I needed a new computer. It's the hardware and tear. Hi, everybody. Yes, gingers are the best, both cats and humans. Yes, wacky little mutant. Very easygoing. So that was lovely. We had some company with other folks from the channel coming and staying in Awesome Town last night. That was a pleasure. And I made them breakfast before they hit the road this morning. And then in a turnabout of sorts, Zip Flash flew last night to the Sherwood Forest Fair and is there working with Jouster Dave and working with the horses. He just sent me a picture of a horse so tall. I mean, our kid is tall, but taller than me by far. But one of the horses that they're working with is so tall, its shoulder is taller than Zip Flash's head. So, right? I know, it's pretty exciting. To be clear, my ambition is not, it's okay, it was just my hat. To be clear, my ambition is not that Zip Flash should become a jouster, because of course, while it's super cool as his mom, I would love him to not, get knocked off a horse, but he's interested in veterinary science. And so, going to work with the horses, thought that would be really cool. Oh, did you get to see Helly with the ball? Yes. Big ball. He didn't know. He thought that was an old video. He didn't realize they were here when he got it. Hi, everybody. Hello, Bungalow Glow. What a great name. Hi. A ball. I know, incredibly high pitched too. It's like, as kids grow up, I hope for her sake that her voice lowers, because right now it is hilarious. But everything is like this. Chicken, mama, ball. It's like, it would be very difficult in the boardroom, but it is hilarious in a toddler. Anybody who's just getting here, I've got this cat right here. That's what this is. Doing my best to literally laying down on all of my notes. Yes. London says, I died. She was so cute. Yeah, it was ridiculous. And again, our kids are literally men now. So it's very funny to be like, oh, right. That's what it's like when you have to, childproof the litter box or whatever. So we had a good time. So those are two of the little bits of news from around here. Third bit of news is that I too got a spiffy new intro for my show, thanks to Nina Lee. And I want to say one thing I appreciate about it is that it's my actual hands. A lot of times when it comes to kind of tarot clip art, people always use these like very long, elegant fingers with long fingernails and all that kinds of stuff. And that has never been me. So it's nice to see my own hands represented with my own cards and my own art. The representation matters in this case. So thanks for that, Nina Lee. I second what you said, Madam Onca, after hearing it in person myself. Right. I mean, it's really cute, but it is pretty high decibel. In a round of, I'm going to make like Lady Prudence tonight. I invite you to guess what's in my cup. Hilariously, also a cat. So if you want to be guessing about that in the background, here's a hint that won't help at all. It's been about 70 degrees during the day, and it was 33 degrees last night. So we are all over the place about whether to hide under the blankets or put on a bikini. So I invite you to guess. Other notes I have, of course, this is a tarot show, and I'm happy to read cards for anybody who needs me to tonight. You are never required to pay. If you wish to make a donation, of course you can. Oh, now Beans wants to play with the, really? So helpful. Yes, I'm happy to read for you under any circumstances and answer any questions you have. Hey, look, it's Mab Just Mab. Why not both? Blanket bikini party. Yes, my ideal is actually a bikini that's like built into a muumuu. So you could be super cozy and then just fling it open and have sort of a bikini with a cape built in that you can lay down on the lawn and have brought your own blanket. And then the cats can come and lay down with you. That's kind of if any of you are fashion designers, feel free to make that happen. What else did I have going on here? By way of news, thanks to Sir David Percival, who just mailed a donation from him and Sally to Abs Fest, of course, my festival that is happening in Asheville, North Carolina, the end of May. We are continuing to solicit donations for our raffles to raise money for, you guessed it, the Stray Cat Club, basically for Sister Kitten, the nonprofit that we love to work with. I understand they just put some donations in the mail for that good cause. Anybody else wants to throw in on that, you are welcome to do that. Moriarty has thrown one of those parties. Oh, yes, yes, please. I would like to go to that party as long as it's someplace warm. So thanks to them very much for making a donation. And if anybody else in the community wants to donate to the cat charity, I appreciate that very much. Mab actually generated the initial donation form, and I think it is somewhere in the Discord, although at the moment I can't even get to my phone because there's a cat laying on it. But I promise that that donation form is in there somewhere. What else? Yep, donations for Sister Kitten. I myself, my sort of upcoming shows and appearances are, oh my gosh, very helpful. April 13th here in Richmond, Virginia. I wanted to show you my snazzy posters, which I have here. I went out on a postering run with our old Metatron, Carmel, today. Snazzy posters in the package here. The Furies, of course, it's backwards. This is my show. It is the Furies Funtime Variety Sideshow. There is Claire Dima. There is Crystal Younglove, who many of you know from up in the, up around like New Jersey, Connecticut, all those fairs up there. She is awesome, and we hung out a lot at Mystify. So she's going to be in the show. Claire Dima, who many of you also know, who is the kid's godmother and is a badass glass walking belly dancer. And this is Chris Belgica, who is basically the best musician ever. So this show is going to be happening during the Richmond Fringe Festival. So if anybody happens to be in the region, there's a ton of great shows happening. Mine is just one of many, many shows. Mine is the only one that is going to be in a goth club for brunch. So if you're into that sort of thing, come on down. And these lovely posters were made by Nina Lee, who has just been helping me left, right, and center today. What do we see? We see it is in the Discord. I used it last night. Thank you very much. And London says, I'm stuck on how to write something that I feel is worth donating to the cause. If it helps to format it, Many of the people who support the raffle through the festival, of course, are animal lovers, if that helps you to structure your thinking. We usually do 4 raffle baskets if you wanted to make like little, separate little somethings or one big something. It actually helps us if you put a monetary value on your thing. I know that can be hard with our own creatives, with our own bouts of creativity. Sometimes it's hard to value them, but it does help us to raise money if people know that, your poetry is worth $400 or your drinking horn is worth $1 billion or whatever it is. Just helps us. So maybe think thematically, maybe think about just the number. There's 4 baskets. You could just honestly just compile a little scroll of a whole bunch of sonnets that we wrote together with Shakespeare. Like, this community is so creative. There's really no limit to it. And we just want the folks who win the raffle baskets. They're really in it for the cats, and everything else is extra. So Sir David Percival says, we would love to go and support, but you'll be at your Viking group. Well, you got to do what you got to do. Also, I recognize that Richmond is very convenient if you are a Rennie driving up and forth down the Eastern Seaboard, but not so convenient if you live in the West Coast or whatever. Let's see, what does London say? All creators, of course, deserve to make a living wage for what they do. Yours are worth $5. I think you left out like maybe 4 or 5 zeros. $5 billion is probably more accurate. And also, I have heard some of what you have written, and I'm gonna up the value on that for you. It is hard for artists to value their own work. If anybody has any questions that you want to address in tarot, let me know. Be mulling that over in the background while I work my way through the list of things. Seriously, the impediment afforded me. This is the cat. This is my notes. This is the phone that has the actual Twitch on it. So ridiculous. What else? I will be going to Washington, to Bremerton, Washington, second week of May for the Krampus Con, where I will be vending Krampus ornaments and working with art by Nicole Peace in Yellow, who incidentally has done the illustrations for our upcoming D&D module that you will learn more about later this year when we have time to do stuff about it. But she did all these incredible illustrations. She's a fairy illustrator. So if you want a little thing to go Google up, art by Nicole Peace in Yellow, Piesienello. She's amazing. And she's the one I did her wedding as Agra, because they had a fairy wedding. So we're going to go together to KrampusCon and share a table and absorb all the lectures and be with all the people. It's going to be great. And then 2 weeks after that, of course, is Abs Fest. If you know anyone in Western North Carolina, by the way, if you haven't caught this already, Asheville, poor beleaguered location that it is, while the recovery of the town is in many regards, it's great. Of course, the rich and well-developed areas instantly get insurance money, and the places where the artists and the disenfranchised people don't. So there's whole sections of the city that are still destroyed, and you would never know it if you were downtown. However, Claire Dima, our connection down there, could see a giant forest fire from her house last night from Awesome Town South, and they had the truck packed with all of her antique costumes and crates for all of the animals, and she had her overalls and muddy boots because there's a valley, and she could see a forest fire half a mile away raging through the mountains on the other side. And there's wildfires running amok all through Western North Carolina right now because everything died in Hurricane Helene, and now it is laying around dry. So send your best wishes one way or the other to the folks in Asheville, whatever that means to you, because they have not yet finished dealing with the adversity of Hurricane Helene. Sally says, as you know, I started as a pampered chef consultant. Oh yeah, we could talk about that for sure. Yeah. London says, I've thought about going up to Bremerton for the con. Really? Oh, that's great. So for me to go to the Bremerton event, I have to fly to Seattle and then take a ferry apparently for an hour across the water to get to Bremerton, which as a water seaside person, I'm actually super excited about, but I do hope that I can logistically get there in time to fulfill all my obligations. Bungalow Glow, it is frightening. I mean, hand it to Claire Dima, because again, she's got an ancient cat. She's got an acre of gardens and all, handmade stuff. She's an incredible costumer and stuff. And just the effort it must have taken to be ready to flee, because everyone there is so sort of trauma ready at this point. Just the energy it must have taken her to get ready to flee in case. That alone is a big drain, even if you end up not having to leave. Oh, hey, Quad Kevin, your notifications got turned off. Yeah, I'm a total turnoff. So, hi. In sum, Kevin, there's a bunch of things happening. The cat is totally in my way right now. He's laying across all my notes. And I'm happy to read cards for people. So Sally has stepped up and asked me to do some cards for her new venture, doing Pampered Chef. And yeah, I was just going through the schedule of things that I have coming up, some other family news. What else is on here? Boop. The cat is exactly where it needs to be, says he. Also, before I pull the cards out, I wanted to say that Mab, as we know, is delightful and awesome. And she has just started a whole new venture for herself. Boop. You're not the boss of me. New computer. Don't understand anything about it. Mab has started a new venture, and she made us a snazzy little asset that I can share with you if I can find it. And it is called Sticker It to the Man. Dun, dun, dun. So I invite you to go check out this website. This is near and dear to Mab's heart. It's a big project that she's involved with, in large part because her community, being near DC, is full of people who work for the federal government, and everyone is living in a state of terror and loss right now, as they either are losing their jobs without any notice and without any warning, or they are not sure if they're about to. So there's a whole bunch of stickers in here designed by our very own Mab, and it's her being fired up about a cause that matters a lot to her. So I invite everyone to go check that out. And Mab, if there's more you want to say about it, Mab, in the chat, please do that. That you might be more eloquent than I. But yeah, so definitely check that out. And with that, well, I was going to read cards, but literally I have to work around this cat. We'll just try to use him as a work surface for Sally. And thank you so much for so many of you popping up. I know that this is my, sort of once a month moment to be on the channel. So again, feel free to guess what is in the cup. And we're going to do this a little differently than usual. Usually, I use, of course, a tarot deck, which I do have with me, but I'm actually going to use my Yuletide Monsters Oracle deck, even though we find ourselves slightly out of season, because the festival there, KrampusCon, has asked me to read as part of the official proceedings for the festival. Is it alcoholic? Is that a value judgment? Yes, it is. Or rather, it is alcohol augmented. Let's go with that. So they asked me to read, and that means I need to get up on my cards. Right, buddy? I'm going to angle this down. It's not intended as a cleavage shot so much, but I just want you to see that I'm literally going to be laying these cards down upon the cat. Thank you, Sally. It's definitely a labor of love. And I love the silver. I wish that. Are you going to get up and make my life easy? Or are you just going to be the world's most inconvenient? This is like that thing where you find the naked people to eat sushi off of, but instead it's a naked cat and you're trying to read cards off of them. You love my very official way of shuffling. These cards are so big that I am not about to shuffle them magician stuff. Not intended, but no complaints. It's a kitty shot, right? Hey, look, this innuendo writes itself. Okay, friends. So we are pulling just to check out how things are going for Sally as she starts her new venture doing Pampered Chef, which does have lots of very cool stuff. My sister-in-law does that. The thing I want you to check in, Sally, maybe while I pull these cards, I wonder if you can clarify a little bit, because asking how something works out is a little open-ended. What we want to know is more, like over the next 3 months, over the next 6 months, give me a little bit more parameters to work on. I just can't get over the cat's head. Right, buddy? Boop. And I'm just going to pull some cards for you, friend. So you think about it. 3 months. I had a feeling you were going to say that. All right, folks, if you pull cards at home, there is no wrong way to read them, but I usually give them a little shuffle with the intention in my mind, which I have been doing. And then normally I stack them, divide them into 3 piles, working around the cat. All right, cards, we're checking in on our dear friend, Sally. Let's see what we've got. All right. This will be slightly less glib than usual because I have to work with these cards and get reacquainted. All right. I'm fanning them out, working around Mr. Beans. We're going to go Sally. Sally. And Sally. We're going to start with that. 3 months. Seriously. Boop. On the cat. Hilariously, if you're familiar with Yuletide Monsters Oracle deck, the Yule Cat is a frequent character. So hilariously, using this cat for a table, I have several cats in the spread. So we find ourselves with the 3 of switches, which is analogous to wands, willpower, manifestation, that kind of good stuff. And then we have several in the suit of gifts. Seems very appropriate for Pampered Chef stuff. And you have both the 5, which is about sort of maximum intensity, and the Apprentice of Gifts. So I'm going to share the cards with you. Boop. There we see sort of the Krampus with the long view looking out. That seems very suitable for somebody at the beginning of a venture. We have our 5. This actually looks like our moo. Or are you done? Have you decided you've got more important places to sit? And then we've got this cute little boopity boop. So now, typically, when you're working with cards, the numbers matter. So we see here we have a 3, which is there's a lot of dynamism in the 3. We see the 5, which is sort of a number of intensity, let's say. And then we see the Apprentice. In this deck, we have the Apprentice and the Master, like rather than the Knights and the Queens and the Kings and all that sort of thing, because it's a smaller deck. It's an Oracle deck. So let's see what we have got. The Suit of Gifts. So we've got the 5. All right. So we've got, this is a card of consequences. So what I suggest very much for you is that you just be mindful of how you use your energy as you're getting this up and going, because it's like, if you spend all your spoons, you will not have them when it's Viking weekend, that kind of thing. And again, 5s tend to, be careful, Beans. 5s tend to be a number of like sort of getting things riled up and a little chaotic. So I want to encourage you to treat, how can I put this? If you were helping a friend start a business, you would be encouraging them to steward their energy carefully. But because it's you and you're probably very excited about what you're doing, I just don't want you to burn yourself out, because I know you're a person with a lot going on. All right. And we've also got the Apprentice of Gifts. Yes. So now is an excellent time to manage your responsibilities, health with mindfulness. Much can be accomplished. The season may be taxing our self-care, may be taxing our resources, but you can really enrich your relationships with other people working through this medium, as long as you're mindful of how you do it. So that's that. And because the gifts represent, it's the suit of wealth essentially, and vitality. So it's really about, like, you're selling a product, but you are also building relationships. So there's our kitty cats. Feels very funny to be referring to my own written word, but it's been a while. Oh, yes. And then we've got the 3. So again, wands generally represent willpower, fire, passion, our drive to get things done. This is you being all fired up. And the 3 is very much about having the big picture. So to me, that looks like it's accomplishment, it's headway, it's theories proven and foundations laid. So looking at these cards as a whole, Sally, what I'm getting a strong sense of in the next 3 months, since that's the time frame that we have picked, it is a question of making long-term goals. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? Is it extending your social network? Is it raising money? Is it scoring points according to some kind of other rubric? Like, I don't know how this thing is structured, but like, what are your goals? And look at your very big picture goals, and then actually set micro goals coming back from that to be mindful of how you preserve your spoons, as you might say, or preserve your energy. Or I guess for you guys, we could say, your spell slots, your hit points, your gold coins, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it looks adorable. It's just a cautionary tale of being as kind to yourself as you would be to anyone else who's getting something started. So cute. So cute. Anybody else got any questions out there? It's going to be a short evening otherwise. Okay, so we've got the question, is it alcoholic? Yes, there is alcohol in my cup. How about you guys? I don't know what Prue does, but give me 2 more questions and then we'll see what we can figure out. Again, it's a coincidence that it's being served in a big mug. Usually I have a cat mug. Usually I have a big chalice or goblet or something like that. Will there be any uplifting obituaries in the near future? Might need a different deck for that one. Oh, well, some of you have probably seen the rather viral little TikTok that is like, congratulations, witches, on existing in this time period. Congratulations. Why don't you maybe do something really big in the world that would help everyone? I don't know if you've seen that, but it's very cute. Okay, next question. Is it warm? Yes. Well, I would say it was warm at the beginning of the live stream. It's starting to cool down. It is delicious. All right. Actually, Mab, why don't we see what we've got? Why not? Oh, Mab, is there anything else I needed to say about your sticker it to the man? I popped your banner up. I did my best to describe it, but I'm probably not the best at that. So I'm going to pull a few cards for Mabbity Jabbity. And this is a different deck. Some of you may have seen this. This deck will make an appearance in some of our Nat 21 tarot card a day type of lessons, whatever you call them. This is the one that got me flagged by TSA for having metal in it. First time they've ever taken my deck. Okay. I was AFK when you brought it up. Oh, yes. Thank you. So Mab is sharing the link. Let's see if I could do that. Again, I have a new computer. Boop. Dissent is patriotic.shop. Yes. There you go. Thank you, Quad Kevin. The stickers. Mab, does AFK mean absolutely effing kidding? I'm not sure what that means. Sorry, I'm a big square. But yes, this is my new fancy deck, which is actually predicated on the medieval history of Sicily. So I'm using it as an opportunity to both double down on learning stuff about tarot that I don't already know and historic associations with Sicily. No, it means away from keyboard. See, yeah. I kind of like absolutely effing kidding, but all right. Anybody else have any questions? Because otherwise, I'm kind of afraid to pull cards for the state of the world, to be perfectly honest. I had to ask Sir David Percival. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad he knew. I'm just so square. I hope somebody noticed that I made a point of having this backdrop behind me because it is slightly diamond shaped like Paulo's usual one. And it's also the weird green of the place where he and Kitty are currently in Texas. So it's like we're time traveling. I can pretend we're together. All right. Well, let's see what we get. We are. All my friends, whatever you're into, take a big breath in. And we're just thinking, any uplifting news? Eee. Satisfying obits. Yes. I mean, to be clear, that doesn't have to be political. It could also be personal. Because, I strive to be a good person, but I am not a person with a thirst for vengeance. Hey, John Carroll. Hi. Welcome to the, I don't know if you've been here for a while, but thanks for popping in. I'm just pulling some cards. There's definitely like a little tingle here. And now I know it's not from the cat. For those of you that just arrived for the first half of the show, my cat laid down right here and we used him as a table to read the cards for Sally. Ooh, these cards are hot. I have no idea what these cards are going to do. Wow, is that what the side of my head looks like? Yeah, these cards are like hot. Oh, Sally, that's very evolved of you. And I'm not saying that facetiously. I just like to say I would like everyone to get what they deserve. Be that, the hardworking good people or the ill-working other people. What do we got? Now, these cards are medieval and they are in Italian and they're actually in Sicilian, I think. So bear with me, please. So we have Regina di Spade, Sibella di Medania. So that is the Queen of Spades. Queen of Spades, of course, in Italian is swords. So we've got a Queen of Swords. Lovely. Boop. It's very good art. We have a plethora of swords, which sort of seems appropriate for the subjects. We also have the 10 of Swords. Regular fans of the Tarot channel. Thank you, Bungalow Glow. Aren't they cool? They are I Trionfi del Regno di Sicilia. So they are, sorry, it's backwards. These are specifically about the history of Sicily. And some of these cards are really beautiful. But there's a lot of history to learn there. So anyone who's a fan of Tarot in general will know that the 10 of Swords is usually, it is often a picture of a person who's been stabbed through 10 times. And it usually says, not a card of violent death. It just feels like it. Oh, it's not. Okay, great. Why is it backwards for me? Oh, because I'm backwards. Anyway, so that's interesting. So we've got the Queen of Swords. We've got the 10 of Swords. And then Assodoro. So I'm going to guess that Assodoro in this case is this is going to be the ace of what we would call pentacles, or in this case, literally of gold, because they're gold coins. So boop. So see how nice and metallic it is? That is probably why I got pulled over in security and had them go through my stuff. So while these, I do not have the psychic aptitude that my original tarot teacher, Kate Nordstrom, had, where she could look at cards, most very unassuming woman, but she could go, oh yes, I can see a thing. It's going to happen to so-and-so on Tuesday. She had a level of precision that eludes me as a mere lifelong student of tarot and not a super psychic. But it doesn't take a psychic to know that 10 swords bodes ill for somebody, and that could bode well for the rest of us. Because again, swords tend to be the consequences of decisions and intellect, the powers of air. Maybe it's somebody terrible's plane crashing. I don't know. Don't tell the internet I said that. But yeah, so 10 swords, we usually experience that as, wow, these really bad decisions have led to somebody being stabbed through a million times. It's got real Julius Caesar vibes. So if you want to celebrate the Ides of March, and then the Queen of Swords, of course, she often represents seeing through the hubbub to the brutal algebra of what must be done. So like I describe her often as having sort of a hacker mindset. So being able to see systems and the problems with them, and her challenge is to remember to engage with the humanity of people, even as she tries to address things. And then we have got this Ace of Pentacles, which really suggests new beginnings, the seed of something fresh, the seed of course, Pentacles or Donati or Soldi. They tend to be, again, about resources and how we manage our money and energy and so forth. So I don't know, but I'm going to say with all of those, that stabby right in the middle, and then we've got new beginnings on this side and striving for healthy consequences on this side and balance. We're going to say, sure, yes, keep your eye on the obits and hope for the best. That being said, let me see if I can find some more metal examples to show you, Mabbity Jabbity and everybody. For example, you can see here, see that's got the real high sheen, the gold and the blue. Now, I mean, it's like, is it, I don't know how ink works. Is it metal? I wouldn't have thought. I would thought it was like little bits of, bling suspended in, ink or whatever. But TSA certainly thought it was metal. And, in that sort of context, it is their opinion that matters the most. Yeah, this is the tower. This is beautiful. Can you see that sheen? Boop. I'm pretty sure I actually saw that tower when I was just there, actually. So, yeah, they're pretty lovely. Oh, there's a blank one. I'm trying hard to learn. So interestingly, the devil in this deck is actually one of the Pope Clements. And so clearly, I was like, I don't know anything about Pope Clement. I think it was the 7th. Anyway, Pope Clement, I don't know much about him, but time to learn. And what I was able to deduce in my rudimentary Italian is that he was one of the contenders for the role of Pope during the Papal Schism, when like Italians wanted their Pope, and then France and Avignon actually started their whole own Pope thing. They tried to move the center of Catholicism to the south of France. History would have been very different if that had stuck. So apparently somebody thought Pope Clement was a bad guy. This is a beautiful card. This is it's the 8 of Wands. This is the cathedral in Palermo, by the way. And Paulo and I were just there. You might have seen a picture of us standing on the roof with his cousin, Francesco. It's very cool. All right. Other questions, everybody? We just hanging out tonight? I'm happy to talk more about my show that's coming up. I want to mention that, of course, we've got, the D&D Adventures in New Orleans in November, which we'd love to see everybody who can at. And then, of course, there's the UK trip. For that, we have 2 witchcraft tours coming up, and I don't know if I have told you about them on the channel or not. You can let me know in the comments if I have already mentioned them. One is a Sacred Sicily tour, which is going to be a very deep, intensive on the east side of Sicily with Lilith Dorsey, the voodoo priestess and cultural scholar, and also Laura Tempest Zakroff, who's an amazing artist as well as a very well-known sort of witchcraft author. And Mab, you will remember the name Tempest, because this is the same Tempest who was a pioneer of Gothic tribal belly dance in the day. She has sort of done a full arc in her life and come around to being like she must have a dozen books or more published by Llewellyn. Yeah, so Tempest is great, and Lilith is fantastic, and they really wanted to do a tour of sacred sites with people that want to study deeply in Sicily in the winter. So, did she stay at your house? Oh, no way. She just stayed at my house, I don't know, a month ago or something like that. She laid eyes on you. You're quite memorable, Mab. You have a lot of personality. And your house is also very memorable. So that's one of them. That is the Sacred Sicily Tour, and that information is on the Wren Adventures website for anyone who's just joining us. And I feel like I should be booping all the buttons, but you know what? I'm not well versed. Oh, here's the boop. There's the New Orleans one. There's the Lancaster one. Boop. There's Mab's Mobile Mercantile. Yeah, I guess I don't have one for those yet. The other tour is a tour of Cumbria with Byron Ballard. So some of you may remember that we did a witchcraft tour to Cornwall. The thing with where all the wild ponies made us look really cool, and the village witches turned out in Cornwall drink the same witchcraft liquor that I do. So that was very funny to me. They drink Italian witchcraft liquor. So Byron, who's a brilliant author and Appalachian elder, she can also see the fires from her house in Asheville right now. And she has a new book out called Feral Church, which is very much about stepping away from dogmatic tradition and really reconnecting with nature and building local community as an expression of your spiritual life. And she's very involved. You know, she's not only involved in all of the local, outreach sort of things with soup kitchens and all that kind of thing. I first became aware of her 25 years ago when I lived in Asheville, because there was a pauper cemetery, where unclaimed bodies would be buried. And the city asked the faith community if anyone would come and do services for these nameless people who are being buried in the ground. And Byron is the only one who showed up. And so she just went down there thanklessly and for free, and did sort of last rites, buried there for the people being put in the ground in the unmarked graves, and the local Christian community only showed up to help when they found out a witch had been doing it the whole time, and they were jealous that she was making them look like the petty venal bastards that they were at the time. So Byron, by doing her good works, she's encouraged other people to do good works in various ways. So Byron is great. Her new book is Feral Church, and she's doing a Feral Church retreat to Cumbria, which is the Wild West of the UK. And that is also on the Wren Adventures website, which is Wren Adventures, REN adventures.com, for anybody who's looking. Oh, there's a note in the comments. Is that, what am I missing? Boop. DestinationDND.com. Book your trip to New Orleans or Lancaster, or all of the things. Yeah, that's right. Did Mab? No, I still have Mab's gift. And I have seen her, Sally, and I keep finding it and go, damn it, I need to give this. So, Mab, I have a present for you from Sally, and I am definitely going to give it to you soon when you and I can find ourselves in the same place. At the very least, it will be at Abs Fest, but I'm hoping to see you before then, because, of course, so that is totally on me, Sally. Life just got away from me, and I found it as I was unpacking things. Here's a hint. It's about yay big. All right, we've got one more question for the What's in My Cup, if anybody wants to ask a question. We've determined so far that it was warm. It has alcohol. It's in a mug with a cat. Yeah, what else? I don't know. Tarot. I will tell you, friends, a funny thing about working with tarot cards. Now, again, some people have some sort of great magical aptitude where they can see the future, I guess. I never would say that I can see the future. What the cards do is they allow me to see probabilities. Let's say that. Because, of course, if you don't like the reading, you can try to change your life and you can change the outcome. That is how I choose to live my life. I do not want to believe that none of us have any free will. And no matter how, complex or brutal your upbringing or circumstances, I like to think that we all have some leeway in our lives to make some decisions. So with the tarot, I like to think that we can see probability. And in a time like this, when there's a lot of fear in the world, so much fear, People are being, people are already being deported illegally, and trans people are actually in danger. I know that we, running an international tour business, we've already had a lot of people say, bow out of things because of the fear of traveling and not being allowed to come back. I have a large number of the people closest to me are all trying to get out of the country. So there's a lot happening in the world. And so in those situations, I definitely like to work with the cards, but I mostly try not to predict like massive global events. Like for myself, I find that the cards work the best in conjunction with, a person or a community and their sort of immediate sphere of influence and energy field. So, you may choose to do a Carl Jung kind of thing and like do a reading every morning about your day, about your life, and so forth. If you put all those things together and to end, and you get 300 readings in a year, you will certainly see the global arc. But I know that I personally move very cautiously when it comes to things about using the cards to predict matters of health, predict matters of fertility, and, global span events. Because I guarantee somebody is getting terrible cards and somebody is getting great cards all in the same day, and figuring out which compass those are pointed to, right? That's where the finesse is. Okay. London says, my favorite warm alcohol enhanced drink is hot chocolate with peppermint schnapps. Oh, you are so close, my friend. So very close. What I have here is an alcohol enhanced hot chocolate, but I have some leftover spiced rum from the Gloom Master being here. He had some very high octane rum that was delicious that he had been given by some pirates in Florida, and we moved with great caution. And I was like, I think I'm going to save the rest of this part for tomorrow. So normally, I like to drink a little fizzy drink when I'm with you guys, but it's been 30 degrees at night. So 33. So bottoms up on hot chocolate. Good guess. Good deduction, everybody. Hot chocolate with Kahlua. Oh yes, that sounds amazing. Weirdly, I have to say I have a reasonably well-stocked liquor cabinet here in Awesome Town, but all the brown things are the ones that go first. It's like the rum goes first, the whiskey goes first, and then the gin, and then as ever you find yourself with an assortment of sort of sticky backup liquors that are best mixed with other things to make a festive poolside beverage. So as I did not want to pour gin in my hot chocolate, I thought the rum was the move. Fun. Yes. What else is going on in the world? For anybody who arrived here a little late, Zip Flash, our kid, has just arrived last night down at Sherwood. And for anybody who got to watch Nightlife, the documentary that was made about Jouster Dave Shade, and his whole sort of organization and his excellent jousting crew from down there at the Sherwood Forest Fair. I was like, son, because of course our son doesn't remember meeting Jouster Dave. He's just was one of those adults that he saw, and then he saw some guy in armor. He never really connected it. So I was like, go watch the movie. That's the guy. And so he sent us a message today saying, I'm standing next to a war horse that is so tall, its shoulder is taller than my head. And the kid is much taller than me. So he was very excited to be there shoveling horse shit at 8 a.m. And that is saying a lot for a young guy who is not a morning person. So things seem to be going well down there. Sadly, I will not make it down to the Sherwood Fair this year because of that whole shenanigan with my flights. Missed my chance, as it were. So anybody who can get down there, go say hi to the family for me. Dr. Freaky and I are holding it down up here with all the cats and chickens and so forth. But I have the enthusiastic hope of my show coming up in 2.5 weeks to keep me warm. What else is going on? Yeah, no other questions tonight. I guess we're all just kind of taking our lives a day at a time. Yes, much taller than you are, Sally. Yeah, I mean, I never thought I'd be the shortest person at my house, and yet this horse towers over. If I had downloaded it, I would I would have been able to show you exactly how big, but you guys saw the documentary. You know they're big. All right. Well, I'm going to scroll you through a few of the, sort of obligatory housekeeping announcements here. We've got the Net 21 schedule. Of course, there wasn't Gothic Horror Gaming last night because they were here at my house, having just gotten off the road. Modern Monday with Lady Prudence, which is always a good time. Tuesday, Sonnets with Shakespeare. I wish that I got to make it to that more often because it's always so great. Oh, and Zip Flash, our kid, has been writing sonnets for school. And that's been actually really cool. Of course, we got the Space Jammer. It's actually Space Jammer, right? Not Space Jam, because jelly don't shake like that. And then on Wednesday, we've got Crafting with the Crew. I would like to report to the person working on our spiffy new intros. We probably need to make a new intro for that because I think she cut off a foot of her hair. But that was nice listening to those guys. Gothic Horror Gaming, of course. Hopefully we'll be back on next week since they will be settled and at home. Likewise, Flash Phantasmagoria. I don't know. That probably didn't happen today, right? Because they were in the car. They left here around 9. And then 8 p.m. show of the week. That's me. And then if somebody knows in the chat, what is it next week? Is it Mab Labs? I bet it's Mab Labs. Here's me, Snazzy, Shakespeare, writing sonnets with Shakespeare. Look at all this great art. Modern Monday with Lady Prudence Piper. She's so cool. We've got Mab's moment. I'm going to pop up Sticker It to the Man one more time. Boop. Sticker It to the Man because resistance is what we've got right now. Booping back over here to the comments. Yes. Oh, it's Mab Labs with Carmel. Oh, awesome. Okay, great. Yes, I was out with Carmel today hanging posters. She is actually, she's going to be here for the Fringe Festival, and then she's working on expatriating to Australia because she's been going back and forth, working there every year for the Fringe Festival, and she's, chatting about third spaces. So you guys want to catch that if you can, because Mab is always a good time, and as is Carmel, our long-loved Metatron, and, it's going to be a deep conversation about interesting subjects. So I would like to try to catch that if I can too. All right. This is before the name was changed. Oh. Boop. Oh, look. Ooh, Victorian London Fog says I now have at least one cat themed sonnet. Hell yeah. Oh, that's great. Oh, yes, please. See, just needed some ridiculous prompting. Speaking of which, I believe that we have a 21-word story contest coming up. Perhaps Nina Lee can tell us more about that. And I am super excited about that. I'm probably not actually allowed to compete in it or whatever, but it's been really fun. That's what I've been doing while I've been traveling in between, stuck in airports, lots of 21-word stories. So, all right. So I guess that brings us to an hour. Tomorrow is the deadline for our Patreons to submit your stories, 21 words. So for those of us that were here for the epic days of Romulus, with our haiku wrap up, it's a real mind shift to go from having to think in terms of haiku, where every syllable matters, to when it's words. Some of the ones I wrote appear quite short on the page because it just so happens all the words are small, fricative words. And then some of them are quite long-winded and moody, and yet it's still the same number of words. Oh, Victorian London Fog put in your submission. When it'll be announced during Space Jam or on Tuesday. I miss having, not only do I miss Sunday Side Quest, but I miss having what the hell do we call it? Mailbox time, like being able to open all the letters and the things that people mailed in. I miss being able to do that. Maybe we can try to get that up and running in the fall when when our family's doing Maryland, because you can just ship them to us and we can actually open stuff, because I love being able to do all that. See all the cool things people made, sharing postcards and all that. So I'm happy that thanks to things like this writing contest, that we have the opportunity to enjoy each other's creativity without having to worry about where to mail it. Speaking of which, I am building here's the last thing I want to complain about before I go. For the Burlesque Festival, I am making a Medusa hat. As you may remember, I had a green one last year. I'm trying to make a black one. The Medusa for the festival this year is actually pink, but I didn't want to have to build an entire pink costume for 4 days in a row. I don't have that much pink in my life. So I'm making a black and gold and silver one. I've been painting snakes and building snakes and wrapping things and building this big turban. I needed more of this sort of snake-like material. I ordered it, and it was accidentally shipped to Apollo in Texas. So boo. And I was like, that's fine. That's fine. I ordered another batch. It arrived when Gloom Master and Handler Z were here. I was like, yes. And it is bright pink. Like, I don't know what planet it's from. It's like if I wanted to do the Dolly Parton Medusa or the Barbie movie Medusa, which I mean, I'm not saying I don't, but that is not the hat I'm 20 hours into building right now. So at some point you may see me with some sort of like insane rainbow bright snake hat. But right now I'm feeling very frustrated. And they mailed my new mats for my studio to stand on. Those also got mailed to Texas. And Paulo's not coming home with a car for like 3 months. So if anybody wants to drive out there and get the stuff and bring it back, that would be great. Otherwise, I just have to order it all again and know that in 3 months I'll get my husband back and also a lot of weird art supplies. So fi on the postal delivery system this week. In general, I'm a big fan, but yeah, this week I have a lot of hot pink snakes. I don't be going to VA. Well, yeah, Quad Kevin, if you run down there, go to the show, and then you can come up here to my show in April in a couple weeks. It'll be perfect. All right, folks. Well, I guess that's probably the end of my time with you today. Thank you so much. Again, thanks to Nina Lee for making some spiffy new doodly dads for the channel and for making my snazzy posters, which I have been hanging up around the town. My Furies, I have to let people know it is the Furies, as in the Greek Furies, not the Furries, which would be a different show that you also might want to see, but this won't be it. So if you'd like to see the Greek Furies having a sideshow, this is the thing. So thanks to Nina Lee for doing all that and putting on the thing. Thanks to Mab Labs for keeping the stuff rolling and having some deep conversations. And all of you good people for showing up. Good luck, Sally, with your new venture. And this is Thursday, right? So I guess I'll probably catch all of the next week. Now, let's see. I have a new computer. Let's see if I can figure out how to get out of here. Love to all. Here's the outro, I think. Boop, boop. Is it working? No? Boop. Imagine that I did the outro. Imagine that it worked when I did it this